Hey guys, welcome to another amazing episode of Talking About Boats with Aliex. We're right here in the beautiful Florida Keys, where fishing is always fishing. Caught some fish today, but nothing major. But I'm gonna do a video because some cool stuff happened. Actually, I caught a lot of fish if you think about it. I don't know. I'm looking for like the giant, right? And it's like, if we don't catch the giant, it didn't happen. Anyways, the mud is ankles deep. But I want to take a moment and show you this majesty on the water. Give you a full walkthrough of this boat and tell you why you may want to buy this. So I have put more than 100 miles, I have to say, on this boat already, running that engine over there. In one single trip, I put like 32 miles. And I have taken it days after days after days after days. And it has performed as advertised. I even had it inflated like that, like you see, in the sunlight for a long time, and the thing only got a little bit of air escape. It went from 15 psi down to like 10 something, 11-inch something. I think it was like around 12 psi, but it's still useful at that. So I guess from my experiment, if you leave it outside for an extended period of time, before you leave, before you go to your fishing, just make sure that to put a little bit of air on it, get it up to that 15 psi, and then you have no problem. Normally this boat, well, the boat comes how you want it, right? If you want just the boat, I think it's $1,700. If you want the seat and like the boat package, it's around that. Check the listing below. I'm gonna link an affiliate link to Sea Eagle, so you can choose the package that's gonna work for you. But the way that I got this one, I got it with 2 seats. See that thing holding the outboard system? It's gonna go here in the middle, and that is gonna hold the second seat. And I had it with me, my wife, and my son, my baby son Lucas, and we had a wonderful time on the water. We put like 10 miles an hour on this with 2 grown adults on that Honda 5 horsepower. The boat is very stable. It's a pontoon boat. I mean, you can see it here. Let me show you. Let me see if I could show you with this camera. See, the whole of the boat is not really touching the water. Well, it is, right? Because this part is elevated. So I guess I have to go on the back. But the point is, most of the, oh, look at the little tiny fish. Wow. Most of the surface touching the water is the pontoons, and as you can see, they're really thin and really high, and what that does is gonna give you a far more efficient ride on the water. And what I really enjoy about this design is the way they did the transom. The motor is right there behind you, like it's not all the way out, it's right there. And then you still have this area here where, I mean, right now, let's say you were in a sandbar, you could jump from it, right? It's super cool. This boat is rated up to 5 horsepower engine, and I also tested a little e-propulsion Elite. It's not Elite, it's Elite, and it was able to move this thing at over 4 miles an hour, like 4.5, which is incredible. That means a 3 horsepower motor, it's probably gonna move it between 6 to 7 miles an hour. That tells me that this thing is very efficient, because normally that's the speed you get on a kayak. Something that is not as wide as this. The boat itself comes with 2 Scotty pads here on the back, and I added those 2 in the front. It doesn't come with the setup there for the outboard system. I'm testing this out. I'm learning about the system and everything else. This motor is, as you can see, it's a little too high on the water, so I need a few more inches. So if you want to use outboard on this boat, you definitely need to go for the at least a 42-inch shaft or more. But when I stand up here, this thing works amazingly. I'm able to like fight current, spot lock in places. The only thing is that I'm not spot locking exactly where I want to spot lock, so I guess that's a learning curve on me to get more familiar with the boat and the outboard system. And the other thing is that I hope yours doesn't look as ugly as my setup. I think I did it on purpose. I wanted to show you the brains of the operation here. But what I would do is, see, this is the seat bench. This is the second seat bench, just like that one. I wouldn't use this. I will add, which I will, 2 additional rings here, D-rings. And then if you see how the seat is set up, it's gonna have bolts going through here underneath, and it's gonna be bolted down like with this. And then this mount is not gonna be on this mount. This mount is gonna be on this piece of aluminum that I have at home. So it's gonna bring it down at least 1/4 inch right there. But not only that, I'm gonna find another mount that is not as elevated. As you can see there, that's probably another 2.5 inch. So I think I could bring this whole system down by 3 inches, and by doing that, I think I should be maybe fine with this. But if you're gonna start this whole system from the get-go, don't get the 36-inch shaft, get the longer one. And not only that, don't get the 36-pound, maybe get like a 46-pound trolling motor. Newport has a bunch of trolling motors. I'm gonna link some of them in the description. Difficult to walk here and show you everything, but I hope that you're able to see this thing in its glory. The thing is that the red color may turn off a lot of people, but you have to see it in person, man. This thing looks like a movie, bro. Looks like a movie. I had it in really rough waters and it did the job. I'm not worried about it at all. Like literally it gets nasty around here, the current crazy, and I'm there like I'm on a dock, actually solid ground, because dock move, right? If you have a floating dock and stuff like that. No, but this thing is special, bro. Let's take a look here on the back, see how it looks, how that hole looks. Yeah, so it's resting here on those pontoons style thingies. I think I'm gonna take an underwater shot and add it to this. Another thing that this thing has is 15 psi each of the 4 air chambers. Something happens, you still got 3 more. If something happens to 2 air chambers, I mean, let's say the tubes on the sides are gone, you still should be fine, because the middle is gonna be inflated. Something happens to the one in the front where it's holding the motor, like big deal, right? Now if something happens to 3 chambers, you only got 1 left, I don't know. We're gonna have to do that video and find out what happens. It's built with dropstick technology, so you could put a lot of pound of air in there, and it also has some protections on the side, like this rubberized thingy, which helps you if you're rocking against something. If you're dragging it has this rubber thingy here. I would have loved that to be on this as well, because sometimes when you're bringing it down from the truck, it's gonna like maybe rest here. So that's another thing. This thing, you don't need a trailer for it. You could get the side track wheels, the very big wheels that they sell, and you could launch it like a kayak. Literally, I've been treating this thing like a kayak. I put it on the bed of the truck, drive with it, and put it in the water like a kayak. Now this outboard is 60 pounds. If you get like a 3 horsepower, oops, there was a hole there. 3 horsepower engine, it's probably gonna push this thing maybe 8 miles an hour. Maybe less, maybe 7 to 8 miles an hour, and you're only dealing with 27 pounds, right? If you get an electric one, same thing, you're gonna be dealing like with 27 pounds plus the battery. So it depends what you want to do. This outboard is really good, highly recommend. I put an external tank, adding more weight to the system, but hey, I went on that 30-mile trip and I had to be fueling this thing every time it hit half, because the wave and stuff will not allow the motor to go full throttle all the time, because it's thinking that it doesn't have gas. So I definitely had to add the spare tank to that. But I mean, so far this thing has done the job. I like it. It could hold a ton of weight, to 100 pounds, 500 pounds of people. You could have 2 adults and a kid in here with no problems, dogs. And imagine this thing clear, right? I'm gonna show you some b-roll of this thing being clear here with none of my fishing stuff or the motors and stuff. It's like a canvas, bro. Like, I went fishing with that electric motor, which is weightless, and you just plug and play, and it felt so amazing until I ran out of juice. Yeah, I ran out of power, because when I got to Chicken Key, well, you'll see that video, you'll learn about that. But I highly recommend, like if you have a lake, non-motorized zone, or places like that, like something that doesn't allow gas motors, you get that E-light on this, and you have an amazing little tiny jumbo fishing machine. But it's way better than a jumbo because it floats in inches of water and it's not flipping, and if it flips, it's still floating because it's air. And please don't be ridiculous with the comment about, oh, what if it gets punctured, because this material, PVC material, is actually stronger than a hard plastic material that plastic boats are made from, right? That is strong. Yes, you could puncture one of those things and no problem, because air is not gonna go out. You puncture this thing, air is gonna go out, but depending on the size of the puncture, which most likely is gonna be like the size of a hook, it's gonna take hours for that air to come out. And like I mentioned, you still have several other chambers, and you could also take some backup tier A type B and remedy the thing. And here you got so much space, you could definitely take a little pump with you that you could like plug the hole, put air back on it, and keep going. Like, you could take precautions, you could do it, it's not a big deal. And like I said, you got 3 more air chambers to protect you if something happened. Wow. And if you don't believe me in this material is harder than plastic, well, ask AI overlords, number 1. Number 2, watch my video where I put one of these boats, not this one, but something like it, through oysters. And I also put a hard kayak. Guess what got the most damage? Anyways, guys, if you're looking to buy this or the 14, which is a bigger boat, I mean, the 14 is like a boat trailer and everything, although you don't need a trailer because it's an inflatable. I was gonna say something. Dude, this thing is so good. Inflatables are so good. Well-made inflatables are so good, they should be illegal, because you could launch anywhere and you could fish anywhere pretty much. Of course, watch out for the condition and be safe. Safety number 1. Where your PFD, I got it right there. I don't have it right now because I'm on the water, and it may inflate by mistake because I made holes on the. Anyways, I'm rambling now. See you in the next video. Bye.